You gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
And what is up, everybody? It is what's it called again? Free agency period. That's what it is. Free agency period, everybody. Sorry, when you got all this breaking news, it's like, all right.
Is there any breaking news?
No, not right now. But there was every time I try to make a new graphic, breaking news, and I gotta replace it again. Then I make a new graphic, breaking news, gotta replace it again. So that's what happens when you try to do a very detailed show. So, but anyway,
we don't
Asylum.
do that.
Asylum, how are you doing?
I'm here. I'm above ground, and just waiting for some breaking news.
I know we haven't done anything today, huh?
Didn't hear nothing for 2 days, really.
I know I know we got a lot of money, and I guess we're trying to be good, but can we spend? Can we spend some money?
No, we spent money. It was on Max Crosby, though.
Yeah, but we needed that. So, but anyways,
I'm not arguing with the money that was spent, but we went frugal all of a sudden.
Because you just gotta make sure that you don't overspend on people, like a lot of folks say other teams did. When it came to our guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put one more graphic together because that's what I do here. So, all right, Asylum, let's get that.
It's no longer the old Al Davis way, overpaid.
No, well, I don't know. Maybe we should, but no, not right now. But we'll talk about that, and of course, we have everyone's favorite professor. I like to say professor because she teaches us a lot of things. And if you don't listen. Oh, you remember. So before we get into
what everyone's here for, she knocked you the fuck out.
Yeah. But before we do all that, Asylum, let's do our favorite segment, which is the shameless plug. Here we go.
All right, everybody, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell. That way, anytime a video is short, drops. Roger Goodell wants to flap those meat curtains of his and try to shut us down like he likes to do every once in a while. You can catch us on the Facebook channels, starting with Oakland Raider Savage or my channel, Asylum. Then come back when we tell you it's okay, and we'll always let you know because we got spies letting us know. Then you go to after the show, and before you go to Jeff's show or somebody else's show, go to WGG. Excuse me, WGG. Check out their product. I could really use some energy right now. I'm feeling a little lagging, but check out the product. Order something. When you order something, Put Cage Match in the discount code, one word, to get 10% off your entire order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get that energy. The Raiders need energy to spend or what they got to do. I don't even know who's left anymore. But yeah, go there to the discount code, 10% off, one word, CAGEMATCH. Yeah, that's right. I spelled it right. And then, oops, wrong way. And then also, shouts out to the Copa Fabian. Go to www.r&4lifer.com. Go there, check out his merch. And today, I'm wearing a hat by the man himself. And of course, it says Hard Knocks because we have Miss Peggy on. Hard Knocks. Okay, so make sure you go there, check that out. And also, shouts out to the Raiderman 19, Raiderman19.com. Go there, check out his merch. He also has his podcast that I need to go and try to get him signed on to the Cage Match so we can have his podcast be broadcast here on the Cage Match channel. And we got to get him back on the show to see what his perspective is on everything. But go there, check out his Oath merch. And also, we want to somehow, some way get him to the torch. Him doing the Raider Oath in front of 65,000 Raider fans. That's what Pete Carroll promised us when he got hired. To all those Raider fans, the Oakland Raider mystique with the Las Vegas Raider way, that's what we want to try to do. Get him over there, get him out there, and have him do that oath so he can get this whole new season kicked off and get everyone fired up. And I'm trying to scramble and do things, but hey, I'm back. So, Asylum.
What's up?
A lot of stuff happened. Not really with us, but a lot of stuff happened. And we brought someone in to talk about it. So, let's just get on.
We got somebody. It's not talk about it. She's going to what's the word I'm looking for? She's going to let it be known how she feels.
Exactly. The perspective is real. Let's go into that right now, Asylum. Please do our intro. Here we go. Whoa, what happened?
Oh, that's okay. Y'all shorten it up. Because you know I am anxious to get this rolling because you guys have amazing graphics to show everybody. But I want to talk about the graphics that matter. And the one that matters is who we lost on that defense and the fact that there are guys sitting out there we haven't re-signed yet. What do you? Spillane has got to be the worst. I mean, he was
that
a
one hurt. That one hurt.
I mean, Morick hurt as well, but the young guy, right? And of course, with Nate Hobbs, it's a question of what they say about ability. Your best ability is availability.
Exactly.
I don't think Raider Nation may have been shedding too many tears, and definitely not about Diablo, because I don't know, guys. Remember, I don't think he was in our plans for 2025. Up there with the cuts, we expected that. Andre James, again, nobody knows why he was signed to a 3-year contract.
That was a good surprise. Andre James was a good surprise.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that Parham is still here. Why is he?
They're shopping him around right now, is what I'm hearing. They're shopping him around, trying to trade Parham.
Why? Miller? I mean, I don't expect Miller to be cut, but we definitely need to upgrade at left tackle. But I want to go back to talking about some background on why we lost players that we should have been on top of to re-sign, okay? And I'm going to suggest certain reasons. And it goes back to what happened with Mac, where everybody blamed Gruden. But what Mac was doing was looking out for his future, okay? It wasn't just the money. It was about stability. It was about the way a team treats their players. Nobody did not notice how the Raiders treated Carr. And I knew there was going to be blowback from that. And then, of course, this year, how they treated Adams. And let us not forget, even though Pierce wasn't the greatest coach on earth, those players really bought into him a lot. And to see him get treated like that once again, the Raiders not really treating, and then the way that Telesco was beheaded on the slide, okay? They're looking, the players are not stupid, and their agents are not stupid. And all around the league, players and agents are looking at all of this. And what do you think they're coming up with, Asylum, about the Raiders and the chance for your career to grow and prosper with this team?
Well, they look at us as a bank account, and that's it. You're coming in for a 1-2 year deal, and then you're leaving somewhere
They
else.
don't even care about the money. We've got lots of money to spend. Not one big free agent yet. They know we have money. No, it's something else going on, Asylum. You got to think about it. Where have all the big? They know we have lots of money, but we're not. I don't even think we're getting a crack at these guys.
It's like Savages. What a Savages hat says. It's loyalty. Raiders show no loyalty to nobody.
No, my hat says Hard Knocks.
No,
that's the Hard Knocks truth.
Not that you're wearing.
I like that one too. But guys, you gotta think that there's some other kind of practical, common sense, career-oriented thinking going on the part of these players that are leaving. There's no way Spillane should have walked out of the building. No way.
And you would have thought with the Raiders bringing back Patrick Graham, that a lot of the core guys like a Spillane, and I know we got re-signed Kuntz, but like a Spillane would come back, and we were able to extend Max Crosby's contract and extend and give him guaranteed money, what he wanted. But you would thought Spillane would follow, and Asylum kept saying it all throughout this past season. How come we're not trying to re-sign Spillane now before he hits the free agent market? Where now it's to the point where we can compete and match with whatever he's being offered. Because I don't know what the numbers the Raiders were giving, and I'm trying to look at X or Twitter, whatever you call it now, on what that says. But people were saying that he got lowballed by us. I don't know. Patriots were the winners; they paid him. So I don't know. It's hard to explain.
But what I'm saying is, people are asking about, we let this guy walk. I don't think they gave us a choice. They're looking out for their careers. They saw what happened to Gardner Minshew. Nobody looked out for him. He came here, no O-line, terrible OC, not even, changing OC, no running game, no receivers. His career is wrecked. And he wasn't that bad of a quarterback before he got here. I don't care what anybody says. Now, after just 1 year with the Raiders, everybody in the league thinks he's trash. They don't want that happening to them. I'm telling you, the agents and the players all across the league, including our own players, are thinking to themselves, the Raiders ain't going to wreck my career with their nonsense, okay, of not supporting, and what you just said, Asylum, not being loyal. And that, I believe that we are paying the consequences because they know we got money. Why didn't Savage, why didn't we get a crack at Metcalf? Hell, Pete Carroll used to be his coach. Why? Tell me what's going on other than what I suggested.
It seems like the last 3 years, we keep trying to figure out what the front office is going to do when it comes to the free agency. We've had 3 different front offices within the same amount of years. We're trying to figure out how Spytek now, he's now the GM. He was an assistant with Tampa Bay and then working with Broncos and all that, whatever. So now we're trying to figure out what is his philosophy with Pete Carroll. Are they big spenders? Are they going to be aggressive? Are they willing to trade here to get that player? And like you said with Metcalf, it's always, oh, the Raiders will love him. Well, how much is it? Nah, that's too much for us. It seems like whether it's picks or whether it's money, I don't know. The Pittsburgh Steelers were able to get him, but we're here trying to, all of us are just trying to figure out, okay, we got Spytek and Pete Carroll, and we got Max Crosby re-signed, or, and some of our guys, Adam Butler and all that. But how come we haven't made a splash yet in free agency?
And let me just say one thing other. It's what I talked about the last time I was on the show, right? About bringing in a wannabe first time. I never run a draft because somebody like him. He's somebody's friend, okay? Spytek has no track record. He doesn't have a resume as a GM. He certainly doesn't have the context. He probably has a network, but not the kind of network, I had to bring it up, I know he's gone, that a Telesco had, okay? You have to understand there are consequences to be paid for not. And oh, by the way, Savage, when you said, oh, we don't want to pay the Rice, the Raiders have absolutely no right to say we don't want to pay. Because if you don't pay, you're not getting them.
Yeah.
If I'm only worth 15 and I ask you for 20, you're not getting me. Because I don't want to come to you anyway. Okay? It's a thing where we have such a bad rep all over the league with agents, with players. We're going to have to overpay to get somebody in here that we really need. For instance, we could really use Becton at guard from the Eagles. And yes, we're going to have to pay him a huge amount of money, which is one of the reasons why I questioned the move for Geno. Okay? And, it's a question now of what are your priorities. If you're going to get a Becton here, okay, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to overpay him. You all will be moaning till mid-season about how much we had to pay for him. That's what the price the Raiders franchise is paying for treating their players and coaches so badly. What do you think in the Asylum? I mean, don't tell me about overpay, okay?
Oh, we used to overpay. That's Al Davis' way. There at the end, we overpaid. We did that for a lot of players. A lot of players.
That's what we had to do to get him here.
Well, and that was on Al Davis because Al Davis, the way he did everything, it's the way it goes. Mm-hmm. I mean, and in some cases you do. But, I agree. We need to be working on that offensive line because defense, yes, we lost some key players, but you could, we picked up some in the draft. You could fill in those other spots. It's all like depth going in right now. But the key spots we need, which were on offense, offensive line, running back, we haven't sniffed any of them. We were talking earlier. Person on the list that should be being talked to. Where's that? Why hasn't Abdullah been re-signed?
Yeah, why hasn't Abdullah? Yeah.
Marcus Epps, that's another one. Chason, that's another one. There's people, there's players going around, and I agree. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to overpay. And
no, there's no probable to it.
You have in your pocket right now. The only thing you got in your pocket right now, and none of us want to hear it, is Brady. Brady's pulling all these damn strings.
Well, let him keep again. Here we go again with people in key positions in the Raider organization who have zero experience. It's all the first time for them. They're just trying things out, see if they'll work. Let me say something else too. Because of that approach, for me now, and I never thought I'd get to this day after 50 years of being a Raider fan, the Raiders have done nothing in the last 20 years to earn my trust or respect for any decision that they make. And I mean any decision, including from Brady on down. Spy what does he have? He has no track record. Why should I believe in him? Brady, he doesn't never run a franchise before. Why should I believe in him? Okay? It's the whole part of this, model, organizational model that I keep talking about. What do the winning franchises do? They do not hire GMs that do the bidding of head coaches. And that's what we got right now.
Well, no, and we had that with Telesco. I was just going to say, we had that with Telesco. Telesco was doing his thing. Telesco did not do anything to lose his job. That's plain and simple. That wasn't all.
People were watching that. People were seeing that. There are consequences. This is something the New England crowd doesn't understand. They've been chopping off heads for so long that it's routine for them. Okay? Send them to the tower, have them hung. That, they've been doing that so long. This is a normal MO for them. But I assure you, the rest of the league, they are looking. And they're saying to themselves, their agents are saying to themselves, well, why would I want to kill the cow, the cash cow? Send him to the Raiders. He'll destroy my guy's career.
Well, it seemed like all we've been good for this past offseason is leverage for the players to get new contracts for somebody else, or even Ben Johnson. It was like, for sure, we're going to get Ben Johnson as head coach. And then, he went to the Bears. And then Matthew Stafford, for sure, everything is set. The Rams got what they wanted. And then he went back and said, I'm going to take less with the Rams. Us and the Giants, we're going to overpay. And I think Asylum knew the numbers. It was like 2 for $100 million or something like that.
He was trying. Yeah, it was 2 years for $100 million, some shit like that. That's what
I don't think that's unreasonable for Matthew Stafford. I don't think that's unreasonable. You're gonna have to pay. I'm sorry. There is no incentive for someone to come and play for the Raiders now except money. And not even money is good enough, man.
So we're back. We're back at 2010.
Yes, we are.
This reminds me of the movie Tommy Boy. How Tommy Boy, they were like, oh, well, Tom, your dad can go and sell a ketchup popsicle with the person in white gloves. And it's the same thing. Al Davis will overpay you, but he can sell you, hey, come play over here at the Oakland Coliseum. Only the first 2 months are going to be playing on a dirt infield. But hey, after that, it's all grass because the A's ain't that good. So hey, after that, it's all grass. And I know we've been up and down since the Super Bowl, but
October,
yeah. Then you have Mark Davis, and I know he's trying. You haven't heard as much from him since I think the last owners meetings, but you have Mark Davis, who's like, Tommy Boy, who's trying to take over the franchise after his father died. And he got the new facility. He got the new stadium. He got everything. And I think outside of the Devontae Adams trade, we haven't really had a big name come through.
They will not touch us with a 10-foot pole. There's too much instability. My God, AOC has been here 2 years. He done had 5 offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
This does not enhance a player's future. And the smart agents and the smart players know it. They are not going to touch us. We have to prove we can stay stable. That takes 2-3 years. Carroll's got to be here 2-3 years. Well, I don't know what we're going to do in the meantime.
How you going to prove stability when Carroll's only got a 3-year with a 4th-year option, and he's going to be gone? There's no stability there.
I mean, again, we have not given anyone, including our fans, including me, any reason to trust any decision that we make. And it's a sad situation when we've got all this money to spend and no one to spend it on. I cannot say how sad that if things have come to that. I think it was a mistake. I can understand the argument for Pierce, but not for Telesco. I don't care who you wanted to bring in. Telesco did nothing wrong. Question mark for everybody out there. Who would you trust making a decision on our next quarterback? Franchise quarterback. Telesco or Spottek?
I'd go to Let's Go.
I mean, seriously.
Telesco drafted Herbert.
Yeah.
I mean, there were serious decisions, draft decisions, personnel decisions, free agent decisions to be made. Okay. And as I told you, I really believe that the decision to hire Carroll would have been made whether Telesco stayed or not. And it was Brady alone that wanted Telesco replaced. For what reason, we do not know. But see, this is the pettiness that the Raiders are famous for and what's keeping us from getting top free agents. That is just petty. What happened to Telesco? The only real GM you ever hired after Al passed away. And you only stayed 1 year. You see, he was
only given 1 year. There's a difference in
right. Yes.
He was given 1 year.
People that know football out there in the league, people that know personnel, that know how these things go, that know how the good teams, and when I say good teams, I mean teams that are in the playoffs, the Rams, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, just and lately the Commanders, Redskins. Those teams are starting to be really known to be well-run teams. Okay? There is a distinct dividing line between I say it all the time, the front office handles their business, the head coach handles his business. There's never a head coach saying, listen, I want you to go out and get Geno Smith. I know he's 34. I know he's never done anything in his career that would make us believe that he could really, lift the Raiders up. But okay, he's an all right. He's my boy. Hire him. And not only that, promise him the $40 to $50 million contract for next year. Did they not do that, Savage? Didn't they tell him it's possible he can get that $40 to $50 million renewal for 2026? That's what they told him. No, that's what
you need to go back to the other screen.
Wait, what'd you do?
I don't know where she went. Why were you like that?
I don't know what you did. There we go. We're back.
No,
there we go.
They can't see the screen. Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Geno is a guy that needs pass protection, guys. And you can say whatever you want about his, quote, elusiveness. He's 34 years old. And he doesn't have a lot of mileage. The captain pointed out to me correctly last night that, remember, the guy basically didn't even play 4 years of his career, right? The years with the Jets, he barely played, right? His first year with Seattle, he barely played. So he may have more mileage, but Geno is a guy that needs pass protection, which brings us back to our O-line. I'm mystified why the only cut is James.
Yeah. And that was the biggest contract that was on the offensive line, that he had just signed a 3-year extension, and then he gets cut the year after.
Maybe we need to be patient. Maybe we need to wait as all the good free agents go off the board. That's what diehard loyalists will tell us. Just wait, be patient, be patient. Free agency is not It's not
I
a waiting
was
game.
going to say, a lot of the diehards are going to turn around and tell you they think you're going to strike gold again with another JPJ and another Glaze from the draft who's going to be able to step in and do what they did. And what they're not remembering is it was Telesco who found those guys. It wasn't
Thank
Spike.
you. It wasn't Spytek. Spytek has zero record as the GM who made the decisions. Spytek was an assistant GM. And that means he was the guy that presented the GM with the list. He sat down and consulted, but when it was time to make the pick, guess who made the pick? It wasn't Spytek. Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, I really worry about getting it right. I know we're still not organizationally right yet. Hiring Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, great moves. But remember we talked about what we thought might have been a bonus was the fact that we had Carroll, and Carroll would attract all these free agents, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't materialized. I think because the agents and players around the league said, I'm not coming to the Raiders. I don't give a damn who's there. I'm not trying to hurt my career, end my career.
We were, and that's something, that I thought about, like, did Mark Davis have this organization to a point where people are kind of second guessing on, I mean, the fans are great and the colors and the jersey and the history, but do I want to go over there? And I mean, offensive side, and I know we just acquired Geno Smith, and he's been a good quarterback for the Seahawks the last couple of years, and we hope that translates over when he comes over here, especially playing under Pete Carroll. But it's like, did we become like the Browns or like the I don't know what other lowly teams out there, like the Saints before they won their Super Bowl when they were called the Aints? Like, did we become that franchise where?
No, we're not that. But let me interrupt that to answer a very good friend of mine out there, Jeff from the New England Boosters, who believes there are hater vibes going on. Okay? And hater vibes are usually described as vibes that come when you're not saying something good about your team, when you're not being objectively critical, which I think I am. Let me repeat myself. The Raiders have done nothing in the last 20 years to give anybody any reason to believe in anything that they're doing now. They earned that. Okay? That was earned. It is okay for mama to admit her child has made some bad mistakes. Okay? We're trying to recover, but we have to deal with the reality of what those mistakes mean. It means with a bank full of money, we can't get top free agents in here. We've made mistakes. And if that is not hating, that is saying reality. We've made mistakes, and very bad ones. The way we treated Carr and Adams, people were watching. Did you not think anything was going to happen behind that? Come on now, that's just not real.
I think there's a little one other thing you could add to what you're saying, which I do not disagree with. But when it comes to these free agents, a lot of these guys, at their point of their career, they don't want to go to a team. I want to use the word that nobody wants to hear. They don't want to go to a team that's rebuilding. They don't want to go.
That's true. That's true.
It's that whole thing of they want the success. They want the chance to go somewhere. And when you go to a rebuilding team, you're looking for that long-term contract, a 5-year contract for, $200 billion freaking dollars, whatever it is. But that means you're committed. They don't want to commit to a team that's rebuilding, and that's what we're doing. We are in a rebuild mode, whether you want to admit it or not. You're in a rebuild mode, and you're not going to get this turnaround. You're not going to get this 180 that everybody wants to happen. I'm not going to say hope, but wants to happen.
Again, hope is the child of dream. They're dreaming that it'll be a Harbaugh, right, coming into San Francisco. 4-13, 4-12 one year, and then playoffs the next.
But it happened with the Commanders this past season.
Exactly.
That's
what happened when D'Amico Ryans went down to Houston the year before, right? Oh my God, the Houston Texans were the worst team in the NFL. The next year they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You see, that dream, you have to have talent to make that happen. You have to have free agents that are willing to vote with you. You have to have guys either on the coaching side or in the front office side that convinces these agents, yeah, they come with us. And yes, you have to overpay them.
But with the argument that I had just brought up with the Commanders did it, and you had said the Texans had did it 2 years ago, that people are going to be like, well, yeah, but because they drafted a quarterback, and that's always going to come back to, we need to draft the quarterback in round one. But are you Miss Peggy on that train of, even though we got Geno Smith, do we number 6 if any of the two are there, which most likely it's going to be Shedeur Sanders, because Cam Ward's probably going to go.
And see, this is why I wasn't exactly really excited when I heard 34-year-old Geno Smith. First of all, you can't build a team around him. Okay, he is not the future. And therefore, now you still got to go into the draft, but are you going to pick another AOC, right? 3rd and 4th round? What have you done for yourself? I mean, think about it. Are you really going to go into this draft and pick another 3rd or 4th round guy? And hope against hope that he turns out to be Russ Wilson, right? Here we go again.
Or Tom Brady.
Right, exactly. and then it brings us back to the next question. Who would you have trusted to make that kind of judgment in the draft? Telesco or Spytek? We're stuck with Spytek. We got to hope that he knows what he's doing. Hope that he's a phenom. See what we're talking about again? There's too many. This is why I'm not comfortable with the Raiders or as they're organized now. There's too many people in key jobs that have zero experience. Zero.
Yeah.
We haven't changed that model. Mark hasn't changed the model. He's still the Wizard of Oz, right? Behind the curtain.
There's no place like that. There's no place like that.
Exactly. He's still the Wizard of Oz. We still got guys making major decisions that don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. He's like, we're not in Kansas. Because we're not like that organization. They're winning right now. So,
but you know what I'm saying? Toto goes and the dog barks and starts pulling at the curtain, right? That's going to be Mark Davis standing there, still wanting to be Svengali, right? Still wanting to create, be the mastermind who created something from nothing. He keeps throwing that model on us over and over again. Mark, please. You need guys that know what they're doing. You get Pete Carroll, you get Chip Kelly, and then you pair them with two people that don't know what they're doing.
Well, what if Pete Carroll, because I know one thing Mark Davis didn't want was with AP and Champ Kelly was two guys, first time full-time head coach AP, and then first time full time GM, two guys who haven't held these jobs full time to take over. So he brought in Telesco to be the veteran GM with a rookie head coach. What if it was flipped now? You got the rookie a GM with a veteran head coach who has experience in the front office. So maybe this is one of those where Pete Carroll can lead it, teach Spytech on how to, run these drafts or run these, whatever. And I know that goes back to your argument of the coach and the GM. The GM is supposed to be on top.
Well, he's supposed to be at least equal. Okay.
Yeah.
Their partnership, but more important, separate. The GM is a check and balance on the head coach. Let me get it straight. Spytech is actually going to stand up and tell Pete, you can't do that. Really? Ooh, I want to be a fly on the wall when that day comes. I mean, it was like, and I brought this example out last night. I just had to bring it up. Y'all remember we had an outstanding D-line coach, Buckner, right? We got him from Tampa Bay. And in 1 year, he bought the sacks from 32 to 20, even Cleveland Farrell. And Max has to give Buckner credit, okay, for teaching him how to play his position too. What does Gruden do? Oh, let's fire Buckner so I can bring in my Rob Marinelli. Mayock sitting there. Now you can go fetch Starbucks. Go get me some coffee. Mayock didn't say a word. You see, that's what they've got right now. Mayock didn't say a mumbling word. That is not how it happens on the winning franchises. There is no way you let a Buckner walk out of that door. I don't care if the coach doesn't like him or not. You just don't let him walk out. You figure it out. Hire Marinelli as a consultant. But you don't hire Marinelli to replace Buckner. And what, of course, happened in the next year, the 2020 season, the 2021 season, the rate of sack rate fell right down to 30 again. I mean, that's the kind of mistakes that make me not have faith in what this franchise does. And I think we're setting ourselves up. But okay, Pete, you need to go out there and talk. Are they sending Pete out there to talk to these free agents? I mean, why the silence? It's kind of silent, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of us are surprised that we haven't. Yeah. I mean, since we started the show, I haven't seen any news that the Raiders had acquired anybody today. But I mean, I know I understand with the whole thing of we get a lot of guys first time trying to like head coaching. You had a lot of guys who are first time they come over to the Raiders. It's the first time trying to be a head coach. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked since Gruden's first stint, but he had Al Davis behind him on his shoulder to kind of guide him. I want to say guide him, to kind of guide John Gruden, in his first couple years before he became John Gruden. So I don't know if Mark Davis trying to follow that same model, but Mark Davis isn't Al Davis, and he hasn't had whoever's in his ear football-wise since 2011 on up until now or until last year. Hasn't been given on the right advice. I don't know if he wanted to make splashes when they came to head coaches, thinking McDaniels was going to be a splash head coach. But with Pete Carroll coming in, I have faith in Pete Carroll. I have more faith in Pete Carroll than the blind faith that I would have in the new coaches that haven't been head coaches before.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted assurance, on the GM side. I really, really wanted to have that assurance because I knew how critical free agency and the draft would be this year. It's crucial. If we're going to make a step up as a franchise, we've got to, O-line has to improve dramatically. It can't just inch along. Well, they're just a little better. Instead of being ranked 19th, they're now 18th. No. We need to have dramatic improvement in if the run blocking could just improve. We could just give the quarterback a running game. We had one game this year with 100-yard runner. When's the last time you remember that happening for the Raiders? 1 out of 17 games.
It's been a long while. Maybe 2006. Who was it? That was our Shell's second year. Second year. Our Shell's second stint, 2006. That took out us Jamarcus Russell in 2007. Who was our running back in that season? I don't know if it was Lamont Jordan or I think that was towards the end of I'm forgetting his name, Huggy Bear. You know what I'm talking about, Huggy Bear. Fargus. I don't know. But that's why, Chip Kelly was brought in because that's one thing what my argument has been the last couple of years is it's hard to judge the offense as a whole because look who was running it. You had McDaniels who was running it. He's not a good head coach. He's a coordinator when Brady is his quarterback because he didn't do all that well.
He's a coordinator. I don't even really think
that's what I'm saying.
We can
Brady made him look good in New England because he didn't have that same type of energy. He didn't have that same type of success when he was down in LA with the Rams. So, and then him with the Broncos. So we saw the same thing happen again with us in the Raiders as a head coach. So he was one of the offense that didn't work out. Then you have Bo Hardegree, who never called plays in his life. He's probably been the most successful one in the last couple, in the last year since John Gruden was let go. Or not let go, but John Gruden had to resign. So then we had Getsy, and Getsy's offense, you had half the line you had half the line power blocking, and the other half were trying to zone block, and they were not in. It was just because we would try to break down. Me and Simon try to break down that tape and be like, I don't know what the philosophy is, because you got one lineman who's waiting for a guy to come at him, while the other offensive lineman is coming at that guy, but because he's doing that, he's tripping up the other guy, and now everyone's falling over, and now our running back is trying to go upfield, and he gets hit 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and we're trying to do all that with 1 yard to go on the goal line after we just got an interception, and we couldn't take it over the goal line 3 straight plays in a row. So with Chip Kelly, I'm hoping maybe Chip Kelly be like, no, look, Kay, I can work with these guys. We all knew before he even signed the contract, Andre James, that he wasn't good at center. He was too small, he was getting pushed back. JBJ comes in, a rookie, Mauler, even though he was borderline getting flags, but those are aggressive penalties, not stupid penalties. Those are aggressive penalties where he was, playing on that gray line. But maybe Chip Kelly was like, hey, look, I can work with this guy. Theron Mumford, I can work with him. Miller, me personally, I played left tackle. When they got that guy coming in, you need to get that punch out there and then resustain your momentum to slow him down. And I don't know if that injury, I don't know if it was his left shoulder, but if it is his left shoulder and he can't get that punch to hit that end or that rushed in linebacker or whatever, he's always going to get beat.
And you see, that's what I was saying about this complacency. And I saw it last year, too, about the O-line. There's this complacency, and I hear it from fans, too. Well, they'll get it together somehow, some way. It will all come together. And Chip will have that O-line plan. I'm sorry, you got to have talent. We did not have one All-Pro on that line. Those poor rookies had to learn from nobody. Okay? And I think that the presence of a guy who can play helps the line. There was no communication, no chemistry, even after Getsy left. There was nothing going on. There was no cohesion. All 5 were being overpowered nearly every play. They were being driven into their quarterbacks. 50 sacks, 31st ranked running game, and of course, 2 quarterbacks injured.
Yeah.
If you, I keep saying it, and I said it last night, the O-line is the center of your offense, not your quarterback. But you were saying Savage.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we haven't had a great offensive line since Rodney Hudson and Jackson and
which, by the way, we overpaid. Wait a minute, we overpaid for that line. Remember?
Yeah, and then those guys were also leaders, and that's one thing. The offensive line, you didn't really have leaders. You have Miller, who was a veteran, drafted one of the last Oakland Raiders left on the squad, but there's no leadership on the offensive side of the ball. We don't have a consistent quarterback that's back there. We kept flip-flopping with quarterbacks. The offensive line, there's no one that really stands out as the leader. I go all the way back to 2002 with Lincoln Kennedy and Middleton, and before whatever. Why am I forgetting his name? The center. Why am I forgetting his name? You know what I'm talking about, Asylum, or the center. You know what I'm talking about. 2002. He went crazy.
I know which one. The one that went to Mexico.
Yes.
I don't know.
Barrett Robbins.
Barrett Robbins, and you had those guys but see, these were like veteran guys that will get in your face. You had Lincoln Kennedy punch some dude out on Monday Night Football in the stands because someone threw a snowball that got into his eye. He went over there and punched. We don't have attitude like that on the offense line. Well, before JPJ, you didn't have attitude like that in the offense line. So maybe JPJ will be that leader. The one that's setting a tone on the trenches, but we didn't really have somebody the last couple of years that on the offensive line, that someone was afraid of on the defensive line. You didn't have that. So I don't know if there's anybody else left. Maybe that's what we have to do, like we did in 2002, is to get a whole bunch of veterans and put them all together. Like, this is your last shot. We'll pay you. This is your last shot. Show what you got. See what we can do. Draft some young guys behind them. Have the old veterans play out the year. Get this team going to the right direction because we have veteran leaders on the offense line or on the offensive side of the ball. And then when it's time for them to retire, because that's the one thing that we didn't do after that 2002 season was develop guys behind the old veterans, the 37-year-olds, the 40-year-olds, J.R. Rice and Tim Brown. So
Gruden was interrupted. He was traded away. We have no idea whether he had the plans to do just what you're saying. But let's talk about, and I have to because I've got to go. There's a whole lot of our fans out there that don't like the fact that someone questions a decision that the Raiders made. Okay? And I can understand that everybody needs their first chance. I'm saying in the position we are in, at the time and place in history the Raiders franchise is in, we cannot afford people with zero experience in key roles. Let the Kansas City Chiefs or Howie over there in Philadelphia, let those stronger franchises break the newbies in. Oh, by the way, do you hear about the Chiefs or the Rams GM getting fired? Do you hear about, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand it's about where the Raiders are, and we are teetering in a very precarious position. No, I don't have any faith in Spy Tech because he has no record for me to judge as a GM. We needed a guy like that desperately. We haven't had a GM since Al passed away. The Raiders need a real GM. We have had 4 wannabe GMs. Okay? And I think that we needed to have someone who could really, really help us on the talent and the free agency side of the ball. We're not going to get that chance. We will have this conversation a year from now. And then we'll be able to tell whether Spy Tech is that guy that stepped up and stepped in. We'll have that conversation. At this moment in time, no, I'm not going to go with you on the hope and the dream. And anyway, I gotta go, and it'll give your guys a chance to really talk about this. I'm glad I've gotten some fire people fired up, thinking about what do the Raiders need to get better as a franchise, okay? Instead of, oh, this player, that player. No, it's more than that. It's who's making those decisions. Anyway, guys, it's nice to see you, but I got to go back to work.
All right,
And
Miss Peggy.
in
Thank
2
you for
weeks,
coming on the show. We always appreciate you.
all right, and everybody out there, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
All right. Asylum, play that outro. Oh, wait. You know what? I don't like this scene sting, okay? I tried it. Doesn't work. Let's go back. All right, Asylum, that was Miss Peggy.
You're not
Miss
the boss of
Peggy.
me, by the way.
Huh?
You're not the boss of me.
That was Miss Peggy. We always appreciate her coming on and her hard-hitting perspective. Now, let's talk about that with John Spytek. The only thing, I guess, my thing, and I'm gonna see. I want to see what Spytek can do. I think outside of Telesco, he can't do any worse than what we had before. And if you want to know, just in the last 5 years, where is it at? I have it up here. Here it goes. Just in the last 5 years alone, I mean, you can't get any worse outside of the last year's draft. And then with the release of, actually, he was undrafted, so never mind. Don't say at the release of Andre. No, he was undrafted, so never mind. But Trayvon Morgan in the 2021 draft, Trayvon Morgan gone, Divine Diablo gone, Nate Hobbs gone. So only one left from that 2021 draft is Malcolm Kuntz. And then previously before that, I mean, none of these, Dylan Parham and Zamir White, but like our drafts have been very inconsistent. So we'll see what Spytek can do. We will find out how his draft class or who he picks at the end of next month in the draft and see how that goes. But I can't. For me personally, I don't know. Like I know what he was a part of in Tampa Bay when they brought in Tom Brady after he left the Patriots and he came over to the Buccaneers. And I know that was a 2020 COVID year, but still, Brady comes over and they win a Super Bowl. It counts towards the NFL, so it counts. They win a Super Bowl. Spytek was part of that front office, and
Jeff, I love your optimism, though. Fuck.
Watch it when we win the Super Bowl. Spytek wins GM of the Year. hey, look, I'm one of those Raider fans that say, hey, I just want stability, and I saw that too in the comments. And I also want to shout out Vincent. Vincent watches our show and comments on our show after the show is over. And that was one of the goals that we put in, that me and Silent put, when we started this podcast, that we wanted to do a show that people can watch after and whatever. So, and he's always commenting right after the show and like a day after, whatever the show's done. So I've been wanting to shout you out if you're still watching, to Vincent. Vincent sounds like an old school Raider and someone who is probably also frustrated, but at the same time, and I grew up around the old school Raider fans too, where I say, hey, we just give me some stability and see what we can do. And I just think that that's what Mark Davis, because the common denominator with all of this is Mark Davis. And I'm not trying to say Mark Davis is the one that's driving his team, down whatever, because he did what Al Davis couldn't do, and now was a permanent home with a brand new stadium and everything. So he was able to do what his dad couldn't do. He got the facility. Now he just has to have a product on the field that wins to have the seats filled with. He said, "I'm off work today." Hey, but you know what? You're watching live, and I want to shout you out live. So, but he got the nice facility, and I've been to the Alameda one. When I used to work at FedEx, I delivered to the Alameda one a couple times. So I've been inside and I've seen it, whatever. So you got the facility right off of Henderson, got the street named after, it's called Raiders Way. It got the street named after them and everything in Vegas or Henderson, whatever. We don't have the fans there because it's expensive to get in. They keep raising the prices, but it's like, not that we don't want to spend the money, but it's like, I don't want to spend the money if the team is not that good. So, and the common denominator since 2011, when Al Davis passed, well, I don't want that's a wash here because he just got thrown in there. So as of 2012, when he started making his own decisions, when he got rid of Hugh Jackson, and he brought in McKenzie, and apparently McKenzie got rid of Hugh Jackson to bring in Dennis Allen. So, and then, so on and so forth. And each project begins every year or every other year. And we've had more interims in the last 10 years than we ever had in the previous, 40 years before that, 50 years before that. So, I know Mark Davis is trying to hurry up and get this team going, but when he keeps switching coaches, and I know the plan with John Gruden coming in, the 10-year deal, no one expected the emails and all that to happen and surface. And Gruden's fourth year, he was 3-0, and then those came out, and then he lost against the Rams in that Monday night game, and then he had to resign. So hopefully Mark Davis can just sit back and Spytek, let Spytek do his thing. You got Pete Carroll, who's been around the block with the Patriots, with the Jets. They went down to USC, got that team turned around. So all the mistakes he learned with the Jets and the Patriots, went to USC, turned that around, tried it with the NFL, had the Seahawks. The Seahawks were somebody because the Seahawks aren't really anybody. I know the Raiders beat the Seahawks in the AFC Championship game to go into Super Bowl 18. But after that, the Seahawks were even with Mike Holmgren, Pete Carroll turned that team around. So that's what we're hoping, that, Pete Carroll can at least turn our team around. 73, 74 years old, we can turn our team around, and whoever is going to be taking over, if he's grooming somebody to take over when he's finally ready to retire or whatever the case, he has somebody that could take over and continue the same philosophy and not keep flip-flopping and changing philosophies, because that's what's going to drive potential free agents away. I don't want to go there because we'll have to change the coach again. Now we got to learn the whole thing, and then do it again. And I don't think. And then, I don't know.
Put you back into a rebuild mode.
Yeah. And I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Devontae Adams on receiver and the way he acted and everything kind of made the Raiders look unattractive?
Well, it definitely didn't make him look good, but you got to remember who was the coach at that time.
McDaniels.
Okay, so
and then McDaniels to AP.
Yeah, to AP. So it didn't look great, but he was just saying the shit, reconfirming what we were seeing, what we and everything like that. So I'm not going to say it made us look less attractive. I think what we keep talking about is the constant coaching change, the constant, just the constant change, just all around. It was again stability, right? We have no stability in anything, and without stability, all you're doing is rebuild.
Anyway, sorry, this comment right here. I know Mufasa. I know he's watched the show before, and you know Mufasa that we are Team Ramrod, Team Ramrod, and I know. Hold on, I didn't mean to cut you off, Silent, but I know going into last year's off season and then the off, free agency and all that. I know your first choice was a Kirk Cousins, but then he got tampered with, and then he ended up signing that big contract to the Falcons. And you said Minshew would be a good guy to have AOC 12 learn behind him. But then when we saw in the preseason, because we've been a big guy, we've been a big, big believer in Aiden O'Connell because of what he did on his rookie year in the preseason. We thought he beat out who was the backup for behind Garoppolo, Matt something. I always say his name wrong. Matt Schaub, not Matt Schaub.
No. I know it's on the tip of my fucking tongue too. It's
that garbage. See, that's how bad it was because Hoyer, Brian Hoyer, Matt Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, Matt Hoyer. But after that preseason, we were like, wait, he should have been the second string. And then at least second string. And then when the season went on, we were like, why don't you just throw him in there? Just have him play it out. Because Garoppolo ain't the one. Pride of the head coach didn't allow that. The following year, we thought, okay, you got Minshew in, he's the veteran. And we had the debate show, you against Raider Homer. And you were like, I'm representing Aiden O'Connell. And it was going back and forth. But watching those preseason games, we were like, Aiden O'Connell looked good. Everyone points to that one pick six that he threw. But at the same time, the Getsy wasn't calling plays to win the game. He was calling plays to put them in situations, that, I don't know. They were trying to create situations or whatever. I don't know what Getsy, dumbass, what he was trying to do because he ain't here no more. He got fired halfway through the season. But we all thought he should have, O'Connell should have started the beginning of the season. They kept flip-flopping. We thought AP wanted to start Aiden O'Connell, but maybe he got overruled, whatever the case was, to start Minshew because he was the veteran. He didn't look all that great. We had no running game to support Minshew. The offensive line had no philosophy and doing what they didn't know what they were doing. And and then when they went and brought in Scott Turner to take over, when I brought in, but they elevated him to take over as the full-time play caller.
But they did bring in Norv.
And they brought in Norv. They went back to Minshew, and we thought, well, have Aiden O'Connell play it out. Aiden O'Connell, when he had his chances, he looked good. And then he started becoming mobile. He almost beat the Chiefs on Black Friday in Kansas City.
Second time, by the way, that would have been his second time beating the Chiefs.
So, I don't know. I don't know if you're on the same philosophy, but how about we? Okay, Geno Smith. Yeah, Geno Smith. You're the starter. You're the veteran. Aiden O'Connell learns behind him, and we'll see how that goes. But if anything, like Demon King said in the comments earlier, I saw, let's just see. We'll either get best player available or what at number 6 if we don't trade down or if we stay at that spot at number 6. And then wait till next year if we need to draft somebody. Or I say if we do draft, I don't know. What do you think of Howard? Because he played he played with Chip Kelly. They won a championship. Maybe. I don't know. Have him sit behind. Just sit back, learn everything. Because I think that's what we're all afraid of. I'm afraid of is when I know Jamarcus Russell didn't start on game 1 because he held out. He held out until like the last 2-3 games of the season. We had 3 different quarterbacks.
Game 1, I was about to say, he didn't play most of that season.
Yeah, I think we started with McCown, and then we had what's his name from Culpepper who came in, and then eventually it was Jamarcus Russell closing out the last 2 games or whatever it was. But if we do draft a guy, what I'm afraid of is if whoever the quarterback is most likely Geno Smith or whatever, if they have a bad game, like let them play out. Let the rookie sit back and wait and just kind of sit back. Because if we are in a rebuilding mode, like, let the rookie try not to be the savior. Everyone's gonna look at, well, look what happened with the Texans. Look what happened with the Commanders. But
Redskins.
but every situation is unique. Every situation is different. It didn't work with the Chicago Bears. Apparently, the offense coordinator there wasn't even talking to the quarterback. Huh?
Didn't work with Carolina.
Well, it didn't work until they benched him, and then they came back, and then all of a sudden, hey, I'm back. Let's go. Oh, okay. And now they took our safety.
That was well into his, what was that, second year, and he had a couple of good games after the benching and it just didn't work with Carolina. It's just but I agree with you about the whole sitting them for the year until, the games don't matter, whatever the situation, comes to, and then getting them a little bit of the NFL time. Even Tom Brady says that's what's missing in the NFL now is players don't sit. They're thrust into the starting position way too early, and it hurts their development. This is a guy who sat behind Drew Bledsoe until he got his chance.
Until Drew Bledsoe got his lung knocked off.
Well, until he got his chance. That's what I said. But but it comes down to, I agree with that. I'm not against drafting. I'll draft a quarterback every year. I don't care until you find your answer. But if you just sit there and rush the shit and think that you're going to draft a quarterback and he's going to be the savior, you're just glutton for punishment, and you're going to have the same thing happen over and over and over and over again. There is no learning. Everyone says O'Connell has been nothing but a backup. But then look what he's done, as Peggy said. Counting this year, 5 offensive coordinators, 3 head coaches. Okay? He's done well.
And 2 seasons, yeah.
Despite, in 2 seasons. It's only in 2 seasons. But he's done well despite the hurdles he's had in front of him.
Yeah.
What does happen if you give him a full year with a little bit of consistency, right? A coach said, okay, you're the starter. I'd like to see him and Geno Smith battle it out during the preseason. And the winner, whoever the winner is, and if it's Geno, I will gladly say it's Geno. But whoever the winner is, actually get the fucking starting job.
Yeah.
Instead of the bullshit of, well, he played better, but this is who we're going to go with.
Yeah.
Not for me, Jeff. Read the questions above it. Come on. Put your glasses on, end of the nose. I know you got them, your readers.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about what's been going on lately in the in the free agent period that had opened up. And I thought today, I don't know, and they say legal tampering Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is all the signings, but it seemed like everyone was making all the signings. I don't know. But let's just kind of go through everything, at least the big contracts and the big names that have been acquired. First, let's talk about what we did. If I can find it, there it goes. Now, what we did. Fresh new faces coming into our organization, this training camp and all that, whatever. You got a guard, Alex Kappa from the Bengals, who was released. A lot of folks are 50-50 on him. He was he played with Brady in Tampa Bay, so drafted by Tampa Bay, drafted by John Spytek's crew. Yeah. So he blocked for Tom Brady, got a ring and everything, all that in 2020 in the Super Bowl. Then went to the Bengals, and from what it looks like, he didn't have a great year or a great couple years, maybe with the Bengals or not, whatever. So he was released. Raiders pick him up, and as of right now, he looks like a depth piece. a depth piece. Now, that's our only offensive guy that we signed. He was he was our first player that we signed off, I don't want to say off the street, but off of free agency. I know every year another quarterback competition. We should just have a like one of those competitions like a America's Got Talent. We should do something like that because it seems like that's what we're doing every year is trying to set up a whole new. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. I agree with what Vincent said. It's like another one. All right, here we go. I guess here we go again. But then our next signings, you have Jeremy Chin, who is portrayed as the answer to us losing Morig. Then you have Elandon Roberts, who is portrayed as the answer to the loss of Spillane, which I think is funny is that we got I don't want to say a no-name linebacker named Robert Spillane from Pittsburgh. Now he made a name for himself with us. Got paid with the Patriots. So now we got another kind of, mid-tier linebacker from Pittsburgh named Roberts, plural, which means maybe he's 2.0, second coming. I don't know.
I mean, his stats last year with Pittsburgh, he was the third top linebacker in the NFL and the second best run stopper in the NFL. So there's actually, maybe some legitimacy with this particular signing versus Robert Spillane. So, if he could keep this kind of stuff up, hopefully the Spillane loss won't hurt as much. I still think I wouldn't mind him getting Roberts and keeping Spillane. That would probably be ideal because now you're filling out the linebacker core because we lost 2 linebackers. Again, I agree with Peggy. Divine Diablo had moments and that was it. I don't know if it was a defensive scheme, what it was, and he's going to do better where he's at. It's just a wait and see. But it seems like the Raiders' way of doing things is bringing somebody in, developing them into a good player, and letting them walk.
Yeah, and then going back to Jeremy Chin, who was top 10 in safeties. Jeremy Chin, yeah. Hit you in the chin. That's what I want to see. Yeah. You have him coming in. Oh, hit the wrong button. There you go. Him coming in and play. There you go. You see him right there. Now, Morig, they had him playing. No, because I was the out. No, yeah, Morig was more like the run guy. It was more like in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, whatever type of defense, if Patrick Graham's gonna run that same type of defense with the 2 linebackers and the kind of like that safety linebacker position, they're saying that he could be a good replacement for a Morig. And Morig really, even though we drafted him, he was this past year was his 4th year. He really started coming along this season when Epps went down. Him and Polamalu, they started really coming along when Epps went down. So I don't know if that was one of the things where the Raiders were like, well, let's see what teams are looking or whatever. Let's see what his value is and see if we can match it. But I don't know. But out of the 3 main ones that we lost, meaning Spillane, Morig, and Nate Hobbs, because Divine Diablo, a lot of us were kind of iffy on Divine Diablo. Yeah. I think the only highlight that I remember him would be that fake punt reception when he got the first down against the Broncos this past season. I know he was getting good at blitzing and all that, but he was also someone that started to get hurt a lot and missing games. And he had the concussion, I believe. But Spillane for sure was the big loss of our defensive guys. And, coming in, we had a lot of defensive players on who are going to become free agents going into this offseason. And we thought at least we got Patrick Graham back. Maybe we could Spillane will be right there, and anybody else we can cover replace if we lose, because at least we got the guy in the middle, the green dot, coming back. But Spillane went $33 million over 3 years with the about $20.6 million bonus. I mean, a bonus, guaranteed money. So he got paid, and I don't know. Maybe Raiders have an idea of what they're going to do. Maybe developing our young linebackers, the fast ones like Amari Gaynor, those guys. Eichenberg.
Eichenberg, they kept saying was a Spillane doppelganger. So, I mean, on the defensive side, I mean, it's one of those situations we have no choice. What we think and feel is, irrelevant, but we're going to give our opinion anyways, and I'll get to Chase on here in a minute. You got to trust into the Patrick Graham and Pete Carroll defensive minds, seeing what talent we had and making it. Obviously, they feel it was okay to let Spillane walk and Amore walk. These guys we have brought in as the free agents, and then what we have on the team. Maybe they're seeing something that we haven't had a chance to see and think it could get coached. Chase on. I would have loved to kept Chase on. I'd rather have kept Chase on over Kuntz personally. You could have got him on a cheaper deal. I think the Kuntz signing might be forcing Chase on out to go, but I wouldn't just for a depth piece, because we don't know how well that D is going to hold up, and we don't know if Kuntz can replicate what he did a year and a half ago. But I would love to keep Chase on, and when it comes to the defense, that defensive line and everything else, the best things you could have is rotational pieces, to keep it fresh. You keep good defensive line players there, and you keep them fresh. They continue putting pressure on that O-line, who does not rotate out a lot. And later in games, that defense is doing their job. They're getting the pressure on that QB and forcing mistakes by the opposing offense.
Wait, why are we saying Chase on is still available, right?
Yes, he's still available.
Okay. You made it seem like he already got signed.
No, I said I'd like to still keep Chase on.
Oh, because I'm like, wait a minute. Don't tell me that, okay? I would like him to come back because he is listed. I believe he is listed as a linebacker, even though he played defensive end. Basically pass rusher, because that's what basically the outside linebackers are now, or just basically edge rushers. But I agree too. I thought with the way Clavon played, that he would have been the one that took over Kuntz's contract. I want a contract, but Kuntz's spot. Have Kuntz go and test the market or whatever. They signed Kuntz, but I just think that you have to bring in. I mean, because I feel like he can be versatile. He can move around Clavon, maybe to the outside backer position. Outside backer position, or come in and pass block. Pass rush. And with Max Crosby coming off of the injury, and he should be hopefully 100% going into this season, but I think maybe to keep Max Crosby from hurting himself, because he wants to be out there all the time, is to have that rotational. Because when Clavon took over for Max Crosby, when Max Crosby couldn't go, or when he wasn't 100%, he filled that void. And I know, they don't have to really focus on Max Crosby, because Max Crosby is the one that got the triple teams and double teams, whatever. But Clavon played very well, filling into with the shoes of Max Crosby. So I want to see him come back. I would like for him to come back. I don't know what the issue is, if it's an asking price, or if it's year wise, or whatever's going on. But I think it's also more surprising that nobody else had tried to. And nobody else has signed him. So that's another thing too, that nobody else has tried to pick up Clavon yet. So that's something else to think about. But I just think that while the Raiders have the time, no one else is bidding from like maybe Spillane, they should get that deal done, or maybe that's what they're doing, and they just haven't put it out there yet. They're just finalizing whatever, but hopefully they can bring that back. The defense was the strongest team on this team, the strongest group on this team, and you want to make sure you keep your good players and build off of that, because at least at that point we have an identity. We a defensive team with a defensive head coach in Pete Carroll, and then with Patrick Graham, who's going to be in his fourth year with the organization as the play caller. So, and then you have Robbie Leonard, coaching that line. So it all fits well. Clavon come back, have him build off what he did when he came off the streets to come in and started getting his career back. Like revitalizing his career.
He turned around. He turned his career. Or started to turn his career around last year.
Yeah. So we'll see. But let's just kind of go through everything that has happened in free agency. Here are the players that did not move in free agency. These are the players these are the notable players who re-signed with their teams. Guys like Jarrett Stidham. Remember Jarrett Stidham? He was our star quarterback after Derek Carr was forced out.
The fan was almost beating the Broncos.
Almost, yes. Andy Dalton.
Not the Broncos, the 49ers. Wrong game.
Oh, no. He went to the Broncos. He almost beat the Niners, and then we got killed. We got killed by the Chiefs to close it out. It is what it is. Yes. Andy Dalton re-signs, so he's going to be with the Panthers for 2 more years. Jimmy Garoppolo, when he saw that his best friend Devontae Adams signed with the Rams, goes, "Well, I want to sign too then, because we're best buds." Yeah. Let me show you all the strip clubs. Aaron Jones, he stays with the Vikings. Ty Johnson stays with the Bills. Chris Godwin, everyone thought that he was going to become a Raider. He decides to stay with the Buccaneers. And then, going on down, Hollywood Brown stays with the Chiefs. Other names on here, Jawan Johnson, the tight end, stays with the Saints. Gesicki stays with the Bengals. Zach Ertz continues on. He stays with the Commanders. And then on the defensive side, and there was a lot of defensive signings too in this offseason, this free agency market when it opened up. A lot of defensive signings. These are the guys who stayed. Usa Udigaziwawa. Usa. D tackle. He stays with the Cowboys. Yeah. BJ Hill stays with the Bengals. BJ Jones stays with the Broncos. Those guys got big contracts. Jared Reed, D tackle with the Seahawks, got a good contract. We brought back Adam Butler, decent contract, to keep that, at least that front line, the same continuity. And we also get back Wilkins off of injury. So everyone forgot about Wilkins. We'll have him in the middle. Hopefully he stays healthy. And
him and Butler, I think together, I think that's a good, center of the D line right there.
Yeah. Other guys.
It should really help keeping the run game down. They'll have to start running to the outside because I don't think they'll be able to run up the middle as long as Wilkins stays healthy.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe with this front line coming back, this front defensive line, coming back, whoever's a linebacker, maybe that'll help because Spillane kind of had to cover a lot with, you had all these rotational new guys coming in on the defensive line. They did well, though. They did well, but, when you get your guy that your big acquisition from last year back healthy this year, with Max Crosby at the edge, Wilkins, Butler, and whoever, if it's Kuntz, or we also have our draft pick from a couple years ago in Wilson. So, we'll see how that line will probably be our strong suit on the team, but top five defensive line. I know because we said that last year, and then all the injuries happened. Levante Dave or Bobby Wagner, we thought he probably would come over with Pete Carroll, who stays with the Commanders. Zach Bond got re-signed with the Eagles. Levante David re-signed with the Buccaneers, huh?
I said we hope that we might have been able to get Nick Bolton.
Yeah, he decided to stay with the Chiefs. Isaiah McDuffie stays with the Packers. So Khalil Mack, everyone thought about a reunion with the Raiders. He decides to stay with the Chargers. People are saying this could be his last year and he'll probably retire. We'll see what happens. So then like Theo Jackson, the Vikings, he got paid, stays with the Vikings. Byron Murphy, the cornerback for the Vikings, that was another hopeful that a lot of Raider fans wanted to try to get the cornerback, but he decided to stay with the Vikings. So those are players who did not move. They did not move, and they all got signed before any, I guess, legal tampering. I don't know. So let's get on to the signings, offensive side. Whew. All right, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold finds himself replacing Geno Smith in Seattle. Asylum, let's just talk about that real quick. Well, just him and Justin Fields, I think would you say those are like the two surprises? Justin Fields going to the Jets and Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks out of all places?
Definitely the Justin Fields. I did not see him going to the Jets. I thought he might have stayed with the Steelers for sure. I thought they would want to go that route. He kind of fits. God damn it, what's the coach's name? Anyways,
for who
fits his, his mold and style. Sam Darnold, not necessarily going to the Seahawks, but once they traded Geno away, you kind of wondered who they were going to fill, whether it was going to be draft, whatever, to fill that. But I think what you're going to see with Sam Darnold, I said this on Jeff's show, I said it before, you're going to learn real quick. Sam Darnold was a system quarterback, and going to Seattle, I don't think he's going to have the success that he had with the Vikings.
Yeah. That, we'll see what happens over there. And I agree because Sam Darnold, he started when he got drafted by the Jets, up and down, and went down to Carolina. He had a chance, didn't work out. Then he went to the Niners. He was just sitting back there, as a backup, and then ended up with the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy gets hurt against us in the preseason game, and he found he was able to take over. And I don't want to say it's almost like a Minshew moment when Minshew took over for the Colts the 2023 season and almost got them to the playoffs, which made him I don't want to say he wasn't as popular like a hot quarterback, who's going to get paid like Sam Darnold did, but so we'll see because we saw what happened with Minshew. Bad situation just for all of us Raider fans too when he came over to us. Bad situation for him. So we'll see how Sam Darnold fares in the NFC West in that division. Running backs, Najee Harris. The Chargers were able to get him. That was Jeff's guy. Oh wait, I was looking at Rodgers' pick on. Oh, whatever. I don't know. I keep looking to see if any breaking news happened. Najee Harris signs a 1-year deal with this. Say that again.
I said I keep doing the same thing. You're not alone.
But Najee Harris, he signs that 1-year deal with the Chargers. I think I was kind of more surprised with that one because it was more so that the Chargers got him, and now he's in the division. And
well, that means they had no faith in DK Dobbins?
They had Dobbins, who is often injured. He did well this year, but he's often injured.
So is Najee, though.
Yeah. That's probably why they gave him a 1-year deal. So let's see what you can do. Okay. Which I'm surprised that Najee Harris only had a 1-year deal. Like, you would think he would have got like a 3-year deal somewhere, especially with the running back market got that surge from Saquon Barkley, the way he performed this past season, going into the game against the Commanders, going into the Super Bowl. So you thought the market.
He's no Saquon though.
I just,
I'm sorry, but when you can turn around backwards and leapfrog somebody, that's something special.
Let him get his chance. Okay, he did that in his second team. He didn't do that in his first team. Najee Harris can do he could possibly do a backflip. Just don't do it against the Raiders. Okay, I'll be pissed off. All right, going into the wide receivers and the tight ends. Davante Adams, got himself signed with the Rams. It was between the Rams and the Chargers, and I didn't think he would go to the Chargers because they talked all that mess. But then I thought maybe he would go to the Chargers because he went on the face off against the Raiders 2 times a year. Because he knows.
You got to remember, we put it up there. What did the Chargers turn around and put out for him last year?
That he's a garbage Pop-Tart.
Yeah, he's garbage. I mean, So to me personally, he just wanted to go to the West Coast. That's all he wanted. He's from the area, so he only had 3 choices.
Well, he wanted to go to the West Coast. It was like Niners, Rams, and Chargers.
So, I mean, obviously, the Niners, Santa Clara is in a rebuild mode. They're trading everybody away. So I think there might even be a chance that somebody can pick up Christian McCaffrey for the right price.
No, I don't think they'll do that. But then I don't know. Like you said, they traded away Ayuk, or did that become a? Oh, I don't know. Ayuk was tied to a team. I forgot what it was. I don't think that was official yet.
He got a contract extension, I believe.
Ayuk?
Yeah.
With the Niners? No, he did that. That was last season, right?
Yeah, he got his extension. He wanted out. He got his extension. Now he's happy.
No, but they were gonna. I heard they were gonna try to shop him again. I don't know. Niners all over the place right now. I'm not a Niner fan, so I don't give a shit. Anyways.
Yeah, me either. What's your boyfriend say?
Well, looking at this list, I mean, and we said this last week and a lot of folks believe this too, that because what I'm going to say is probably going to go against, it's probably going to flip flop to what I said earlier, but the free agent market this year wasn't all that strong. Now I know I said, well, come on, Raiders, what are you doing? Because it feels like it's Christmas Day. And everyone is, oh yeah, look what you got, look what you got, look what you got. And we got like, and we know socks. Yeah, hey, socks. When you get older, you appreciate socks. Okay. There was one year I said, just give me some socks, and I didn't get no socks, and I was really upset. Like the one time I asked for socks on Christmas, like, what do you want? Just give me some socks. I don't care. I need socks. They all got holes in them. The job that I had, in some work boots and everything, you don't cut your toes in time. You cut your toenails, so they cut through the socks. So I had holes in my socks. I say, give me some socks. Oh, okay. Not one person bought me socks. That's the easiest gift you can get. Socks. You don't gotta, what size are you? Oh, it says it ranges between 8 and 12. Okay, well, I'm size 12. Okay. It doesn't have to be white socks. That's it. Didn't get socks. So, but, I think that's how a lot of us are feeling like, okay, well, this guy signed, and DJ Metcalf, he went to the Steelers, and this guy signed here, and that guy got paid there, and we lost our Spillane, and we lost our Morig, and all that, and what do we get? We made the big splash last year with Wilkins, but we didn't make a splash like that this year.
That's all we did last year.
Yeah. And I know we were all surprised, whether good or bad or indifferent, but we were all surprised when it said Geno Smith got traded to the Raiders for the same pick that we got the Jets for Davante Adams. So basically we traded away Davante Adams to the Seahawks for Geno Smith. And, we were all like, oh, okay. Now, Geno Smith, like I said, he, later in his career, like a lot of quarterbacks, like Rich Gannon, give me a chance and I can show you. Well, the Chiefs used Gannon enough to get them to the playoffs, but they kept taking, he was like a Doug Flutie when he was with the Bills. But comes to the Raiders, right coach, right situation. Gannon with Gruden. You got Geno Smith with Pete Carroll. Maybe we can have that same kind of success, like when Gannon came over, older quarterback, just want to prove himself, comes to the Raiders, has his best years, MVP quarterback, on his way to the Super Bowl. I'm going ahead of myself, but I'm just saying. Was that too much?
Maybe just a smidge.
Was that too much?
Hold on. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Doubt I can, but
I mean, I don't know. And I think what Peggy, and I'm not going to speak for her. I'm not going to speak for her because Peggy's seen this Raiders. Peggy has seen Peggy has seen, like, front and center these Raiders for a long time. The Raiders for a long time. For years. So I'm not going to speak for her, but if I can interpret how it's we've been on every year we're given false hope. And I feel like what is that, Randy Quaid in Major Leagues Part 2. In the beginning, bro, we traded for so-and-so. We're going to the ship. And then as the season progresses, it's like, oh, it's fine, whatever. And then as the season progresses, hey, Wild Thing, you suck. Hey, Wild Thing, you make my butt sing. You make it. And then wear the hat backwards, and they're gonna blow it in the first round. They're gonna blow it in it, and that's what I feel like we have become. We're like, yeah, okay, we got this guy. That's great. Yeah, okay, but
so we got to get a hot owner to put in a dress and have the tear-offs off to get the team motivated. Is what you're saying?
Well, we already got the Jobu. But we're not going to have. We can't have a hot owner unless Mark Davis, unless he really impregnated that one girl that said that, no, we're just friends. I just sit next to him and share his water bottle up there in the booth. Or my idea was we get a Kay Adams cardboard cutout, and we start taking pieces off of her since she wants to keep trying to persuade Raiders to leave our squad. I know that's a stretch, but still, that's what it seems like. I just want the players to feel good. Now, so with that said, I don't know, but we have been conditioned the last couple of years to where it's like, okay, yeah, we got this move. Okay, cool. Okay, we got this. Okay, cool. And you want to be excited. You want to be like, okay, let's go, LFG, let's go. And then the season just kind of like, like just like the planes have been going lately, just falling off the sky and turning over, so I don't know. But
and you could be right on this. I mean, you could be right, and we might be seeing a change, and maybe that's what's needed. I don't know. Like I said with DB King, we're going, regardless of how we feel, no matter what, we are all going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. Okay, let's wait and see. And I'm in the camp of, like you said, let's just wait and see what happens. But there is a little impatience there because we've been waiting and seeing what's going to happen since our last playoff win for me, because I haven't seen a Raider team win the Super Bowl. I was born 2 years after their last one. I seen the Raiders. I was there at the Coliseum when it got to the Super Bowl. I was there in person up at Mount Davis watching the Raiders beat the Titans to get to the Super Bowl. I know. I'm going to fall over these steep stairs, fall off. You don't want to land in center field, because they were steep. If anyone knows, I know Vincent. I know Vincent probably knows about Mount Davis. I know up there, steep. That's where all the craziness would happen up in Mount Davis, and it's steep. But I was up there to see the Raiders go to the Super Bowl, win to go to the Super Bowl. So I saw the whole podium and everything, and all the confetti. My sister, I don't know if she still has it, but she was able to save some of the confetti from that game because she was there at that game.
Money now.
Huh?
I said that's probably worth money now.
I hope she still has it. I know we moved a couple times, but
I mean, the last time we saw confetti.
The last time we saw confetti was a long time ago. It might have disintegrated by now. But a lot of us, it's like, I haven't seen a Raiders Super Bowl a win in my lifetime. And a lot of us, and the new fans that are coming in, who were born in the 2000s, who are now 25 years old, which is crazy because I was graduating in 2003. Now people who were born when I was in high school are almost 30. So
I graduated before the 2000s.
But seeing that, yeah, there's a little impatience there.
There's always the impatience, and then there's always the thing of what we've dealt with, which has been the inconsistencies. And I'm not going to take away. We had a lot of it towards the end of Al Davis's life.
Yeah.
He did everything he could to try one more, glory. His only chance was in 2002. But if he didn't trade away Gruden, who knows how that would have turned out?
And
oh, go ahead.
No, well, I'm saying out the Gruden thing. Because when I just think it's just been the way it is when it comes to the Raiders and their luck. Because I thought when Gruden got traded, he went to Tampa Bay. So Gruden's probably thinking, I'm sending him all the way to Tampa Bay. We're not going to see him this year. I won't have to deal with him for this whole year. And Callahan was elevated because all the veterans said, we don't want to start a whole new regime. Just bring up Callahan so we can continue on what we've been building, and what we have built. Because a lot of us ain't got a lot of years left in the NFL. And then they brought in, I don't know why I keep forgetting his name every time I go live, but the offensive coordinator, he ended up becoming the Bears head coach. They didn't do well as head coach with the Bears. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name, and I had it written down, but he was the offensive coordinator, and he opened it up where the Raiders became a passing, like, they were just throwing left and right. They had probably the slowest receivers with the age because the Tim Brown was older and Jerry Rice was older. They didn't have a fast Jerry Porter, and then you had Charlie Garner, who was a pass catching back. But they were again with the record he broke against the Broncos on Monday night with the completions, consecutive completions. So I don't know. I don't know if Gruden would have got us to the Super Bowl. He had that defense in the Buccaneers, and then he happened to have run into us. And this, I don't know. So I've always been on the fence. I'm a big Gruden fan, but I don't know. I don't know if Gruden at that time would have took us over the hump. But then again, we run into Walt Coleman, who said it wasn't a fumble. We could have got over the hump then.
Mark Trestman.
Mark Trestman. I keep forgetting his name. After we go live, I can know his name. I could say it backwards, forwards, but then we go live. It starts with an M. I just don't know.
People think it's easy to do these kind of things, but when you're live, the pressure's on. You have it on the tip of your tongue, you can't find it.
Bing, 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 bing. So, let's go through this defense real quick. Oh, that's offensive line. Defensive line here. Guys who got paid. A lot of defensive players got paid this offseason, the last couple of days. Milton Williams was the biggest
and some of those guys could take Max Crosby for that, by the way.
Hey, that's the, you know what? I'll give that a Spy taking them credit for that because they were able to get his deal redone. Raider Puppet, what is up? They were able to get this a deal done and not have to compete with when Myles Garrett got his deal. Everybody else got their deal. And then it's like, oh, so they set the market and they don't have to worry about that.
Set the market. Yep.
Yes. So that was what we were hoping they would do the same thing with Spillane, but hey, I can't really put that on Spytek because Spytek had just gotten in. I don't know if there was an issue just logistic wise when it came to Telesco trying to re-sign Spillane with the different coaches and all, just the turmoil that was going on. I don't know. I heard that they were trying to get his deal done early, be going into next season, but who knows and whatever. But
we're not behind the
see
scenes. We can only speculate.
Yes, that's what we try to do.
The insider in my head did not give me any information.
He's on vacation off season. All these guys, big contracts. Jonathan Allen, he leaves the Commanders to go to the Vikings, $51 million. Like I said, Milton Williams was the biggest payday coming from the Eagles. Super Bowl victory goes to the Patriots. Patriots were big spenders in this offseason or this last couple of days.
Milton.
They have more
money than themselves? Didn't they have the most?
They had the most going in. We were the second most. They had like over 100 million. We had like 94 million before the Max Crosby restructure. So, looking at this list, everyone was going defense in this offseason because they probably saw how the Eagles stopped the Chiefs. Everyone was trying to be like the Chiefs and spend money on offense, but the defense was never there. So when they seen that, the defense can stop the Chiefs, let's all go defense. Josh Sweat also leaves the Eagles. He gets paid $76.4 million to go to the Cardinals. Cardinals are trying to build up again because the NFC West could be wide open. They just got to get past the Rams, who's been hanging around. Guys like Harold Landry. He leaves the Titans, go to the Patriots. Like I said, Patriots were big spenders, $43.5 million for 3 years. Dre Greenlaw, everyone thought that we should go and try to get him. We all remember Greenlaw getting the Achilles injury in the Super Bowl from that late hit from the sideline.
Fucking sideline can be brutal.
Sidelines can be brutal. Patriots again. I'm sorry, it's Spillane. Broncos, $35 million for three years, and Robert Spillane, the $33 million he got going to the Patriots, big spenders. Other guys on here, we saw Devon Diablo. He leaves to go to the Falcons, $14 million for 2 years. Was that a surprise? Not that he left the Raiders, but that he got $14 million for 2 years. The funny thing about it is that Devon Diablo got guaranteed money, and I will show in the next graphic. Morg did not get guaranteed money when he signed with the Panthers. Was Devon Diablo a surprise for you getting that much, 14 for 2 years?
Oh yeah, I didn't think anybody was going to pay $14 million. I mean, I expected him to be under 10. I mean, obviously the Falcons. Well, it's the Falcons. If they're not going to overpay, they're going to tamper
or do both.
So I mean. So yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised on that one. I really thought 10 million, kind of a thing would have been more going. I mean, like I said, he did have some highlights here or there, potential, but I don't think he showed enough to make 14.
Yeah, he did enough for us Raider fans not to scream at him like Marcus Peters did when he became a Raider. But not enough where we had faith in him.
Thank you, Marcus Peters. You got us, Peggy.
Thank you. We will always appreciate you, Marcus Peters. If there's one thing you did right was help us acquire Miss Peggy. Charvarius Ward got paid big. He leaves the 49ers, cornerback, leaves the 49ers to go to the Colts, $54 million in 3 years. Carlton Davis leaves the Lions. Carlton to go, doing the Tom Brady, the Tom Jones. It's not unusual to get paid by the Patriots. $54 million for 3 years. Paulson Debo leaves the Saints to go to the Giants. That was kind of like a lateral move. $54 million, 3 years. DJ Reed, he goes to leaves the Jets to go to the Lions. So just in general, he got paid, but also go to the Lions, who was close to going to the Super Bowl. So that's an upgrade for himself.
That's an upgrade, definitely.
leaving the Jets. Nate Hobbs, he leaves the Raiders to go to the Packers. Packers got our often injured running back, and he played all 17 games last season. Raiders now get our often injured cornerback. Let's see if he plays the full season in Green Bay. We will see. 48
Hey, that
million,
cold
4
works
years.
wonders for your joints. Oh no, it doesn't. I lied.
Well, hey, after games you go into the cold bath, but hey, how about I do it during the game?
Yeah, you don't have to go into the cold back there. Just stay
Or
outside. Down and just sit outside.
I'm gonna reference another 90s movie, or just like Daniel Stern, yeah, the actor, not the basketball, not the NBA commissioner. That's David Stern. Daniel Stern, when he was in that movie Rookie of the Year, I got an invention. People like to use ice, and they like to use heat. What I did was I heat up the ice, hot ice. Nate Hobbs, they're gonna be playing in hot ice out there in Green Bay. Brandon Stevens goes to from the Ravens to the Jets, $36 million for 3 years. You know, the Jets are not a. And maybe his Madden score was great. I don't know, but the Jets are spending money. You see guys like Michael Jackson. He said beat it to the Seahawks and he went to the Panthers. Yeah, it's just another part of me. He went to the Panthers. So, like a smooth criminal, he left the Seahawks and went to the Panthers. Because he think he bad. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of all the Michael Jackson names. Whatever. Dante Jackson leaves the Steelers, goes to the Chargers. Isaiah Rodgers leaves the Eagles to go to the Vikings. Tremont Smith leaves the Broncos, goes to the Texans. And then finally, we have the free agents, safeties. Cameron Bynum, the free safety from the Vikings. He gets paid, goes to the Colts, $60 million, 4 years. Javon Holland, he leaves the Dolphins, goes to the Giants, $45.3 million. I know. That's what we're kind of going through. Like a lot of these guys and a lot of these lower teams, not the Patriots. Well, the Patriots, they didn't do all that well last year. They do have Vrabel, so maybe Vrabel's, I got a lot of money. Let's be aggressive and build this team. But the phrase is, you don't build a championship through the free agency. You build it through the draft. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens when it comes to that. Hey, and you saw guys like Trevon Morgan, like I said, he gets paid big, contract-wise with the Panthers, $51 million, 3 years. But he didn't get a signing. He didn't get guaranteed money, which I thought was strange for that size of a contract. No guaranteed money, or it wasn't shown on Spot Track.
That's a high risk, high reward situation.
Yeah.
If he doesn't pan out with no guaranteed money, easy to cut after the first year. If he gets injured, which he dealt with that, I believe, early in his career, it don't cost you no money. But if he plays well, then you're paying him.
Yes. That's
one of those situations where you paid to steal him away from the Raiders.
Yeah, so, it'd have been nice. It would have been nice to keep these guys, like a Nate Hobbs, like a Trevon Morig, if they would have, team-friendly deal. But, hey, I'm not going to tell someone, hey, if you're going to get paid and you want to go, get your money early in your career, this sport is not forever. Even the most talented ones, one bad hit, one bad whatever can be your career. Even if you continue playing, to be at that level is not guaranteed. So that's why Max Crosby wanted to get his money guaranteed, because he goes, the way I play, reckless abandonment, I'm out there 90% of the snaps, 95% of the snaps. And even sometimes on special teams, I want to make sure that I'm covered, my insurance basically. So these are the guys that got their payday going into the beginning of free agency. Now, free agency is not over, continues on throughout the offseason, but all the big names are gone. Cooper Kupp was brought in the chat a lot. He's out there now. He is older, but we'll see, like I said, we can build a veteran squad and then draft their proteges.
Replacements.
Yeah, you know, you want to win now. Get some veterans that come together, like Al Davis did. You know, like how the picture that I made going into last year or this past season with the Expendables. Get some Expendables and have them go out there and you know, get this team a set of standard for the young guys to follow and then carry along. So we'll see what happens with that. But I know we're at the end of the show for Marcus Peters today. Found out that he couldn't tackle. I'm not gonna lie. When the Raiders signed him, going into training camp, we're like, oh, okay, I know that name. That's a name, okay. And then when we saw him play, we're like, the hell is going on out there? And yeah, he wasn't even one and done. He was like half and done. And AP said, you gotta go. You gotta go. You're too busy.
You are garbage.
Nothing but garbage. All you wanted to do was hug everybody after the play. Like, you just let the guy run on you. Then you want to pick him up and give him a hug. I'm all like, if you're going to hug him to bring him down, okay? Hug him and then bring him down. Don't wait till after he runs you over. All right, we're getting to the end of the show. And, you know, like I advertised on Captain's show last night, we like to have fun. So, Asylum, we're going to shift now towards the draft. And one of the things that, you know, the Raiders were good at doing was finding talent. Yeah, one good play. I know that pick six. That was it. Like, I hate you, but good job. Pick six. Good job.
Could have had 3 of them.
Yeah. He actually had 3 of them. 2 of them he missed, and the one that just kind of felt, oh, it felt okay. You know?
One of them was even handed off to him, and he still missed it.
Yeah. So let's what song do I want to use? I want to use this one. Okay, Asylum. Raiders were always good at trying to find talent in places that you never would have thought of. So I put together some scouting videos of people that we should bring in, and you know, some are not even people. You know, well, you'll see. Okay, guys, we should bring in because I believe they have the talent and they have what it takes to get us to that next level. Okay, so here we go. This is my scouting tape. I'm gonna talk it through. Okay, we need a running back, right? People say we need a running back. Well, let's go look into the restaurant business. What does that mean? Let me show you. You know what? Is it playing? This girl right here, I'm going to show you her moves right here, okay? It's a table for 2. Okay, look at her. She goes, oh, juke to the left. Oh, juke to the right. She went around the table. Oh, she comes around. So, you see right here, she can do the cone drill. Look how fast she is. She's coming around, and watch her. She's doing a Saquon. Watch she do a Saquon right here. She's in a jump. Oh, look, it almost tripped, but kept her balance. Goes over the line like Marcus Allen. Boom. Touchdown. Right there. Running back. You say we need a receiver. No one receiver right here. We need to go to the Frisbee right there. Okay, ultimate Frisbee players right there. Watch that again. You saw it right there. Look at that. Boom. The extension. Okay. We need a guy like that. We do have a guy like that. As Tucker. But if we have another guy like that, oh, look at this guy right here. You want a dog? I got a dog for you right here. He can play middle linebacker. Look at, you see the puck in the middle. He's not distracted by the moving things going around, okay? That's just a, you know, kind of like the players moving around trying to shift you over. No, he's focused because watch, when that ball moves, when the puck moves, he's right there to make the play. Boom! You see it right there. Let's see that again. In slow motion, you know, he's focused. Get him in there, get him at the green dot. Boom! Right there. Next one right here. I have another guy right here. We need a returner. Let's go into that league right there. Let's go into the rugby right there. I know he looks big, but hey, we got Janikowski, big dude on special teams. Let's get this guy. Take it all the way back. Because we haven't had a great kickoff returner. Look at it right there. Boom! Okay, chalk outline right there. That almost looked like Chandler Jones. Take it to the house. And look it. We got a guy in the trenches. Okay, offensive line. Look at that. Against the GOAT. Hey, if he can go against the GOAT, he can become the GOAT, okay? On that line. Look at that. He goes over there. He's taunting. He can play offense, and he can play, boom. He can play defense, okay? I want to get this kid right here. Is that gallery? I want to get this kid right here. Get him suit up. Right here, look at it. He can play offense, or he can switch it up in a 4-point stance, and he can play defense. Okay? He don't care. Boom! Right there. Get this kid signed up. We need guys in the line. We got this kid right here. Boom! Right there, going against the GOAT. And hey, we need a quarterback. We got a guy up there in the booth. Tom Brady can still throw. So if the quarterbacks that we have don't work out, don't be afraid to go up there. Hey, look at that. From the booth, he can throw a touchdown. You're going to see a ball coming from Mark Davis's booth. Long touchdown into the end zone. He still got it right here. He's going to show you right here to the other guy on the other booth. So he still got it. Now, none of this works out. We got to be like the Chiefs did. Be like the Chiefs did and try to be like them. So here we go. I say we should go and sign ourselves a referee. Okay? We need to get a referee on our side because look at him making plays right there. Have him out there playing defense, alters the game. And he took the hit. So if all else fails, we need to make sure we draft a referee like the Chiefs did. The referee helped them get their 3 rings. Not in a row, of course, but helped them get their 3 rings. We should also get ourselves a referee to be on our squad. Those are my prospects for the Raiders to acquire for this next upcoming season. Thank you very much.
Free agency, right?
In free agency, if you got to draft them, I'm just saying is they're available.
The one we got to draft was the kid.
We got it. Which one? The one against the GOAT?
Taking on the GOAT. That's the only one we got to draft.
That's what we got to do. That is my prospects.
Right? You find Kurt Warner, bag boy at fucking a grocery store.
Hey.
You got your running back and a waitress.
Hey, I'm just saying. Yeah, oh yeah, she's a girl and all that, whatever. But you know what? Al Davis didn't care. He hired Amy Trask, okay? And speaking of Amy Trask, if Ed is still there, Ed, I know you're saying you're working on that, but we need to get Amy Trask on here so we can start talking Raider football and how she used to be, how she used to deal with.
Like a girl.
We need Amy Trask on the show. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what we're going to try to get. But anyways, the girl, the waitress, hey, Al Davis, if you can play, suit up. I don't care. It's just win, baby. All right? I don't care. I don't care. We don't believe in none of that stuff. As long as you can go out there and play, I don't care. Those are my prospects.
Go out there and do your job.
Do your job, yes. All right, everybody. We're going to shift gears the next couple weeks, go into the draft to lead up to our big draft show live. We're going to be live coverage of the draft. We're going to pretend like we're there because Green Bay is too cold and I ain't got enough money to go be out there live. But we're going to make it pretend. We're going to pretend, but we're going to cover it live. And trust me, a lot of work's going to be put in to build this draft show. And, we still got to draft or acquire our people to be part of our team to cover the draft. So we will be covering that live. But the next couple of weeks, we will be talking about whoever new free agents that the Raiders could possibly sign, but most likely to prepare, no pressure, to prepare for the draft. So we want to thank everybody. I know we have 301 subscribers. Thank you very much. We got over the 300 mark. I don't have the video ready to show that, but I will we'll make the video.
You only had one job.
That's why I'm out on the Raiders. I wasn't doing my job. Davis says just win, and I fumbled the ball. So, hey, fumbled the ball. Anyways, Asylum. Any last words on first day or the first couple of days of free agency, any last comments, words? Or Jerry Springer had the final thought.
No, you know, let's fix that O line. Let's get some depth. Let's get some veteran help. Let's get that O line in shape. Spite,
Yes.
you want to prove Peggy wrong? You want to prove other people wrong? Fix the O line.
Yes. Because everything is won in the trenches. I was trying to think of what Rick said. I know the main one. He said, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
No. What you're talking about, he stole from me, and that's games are won in the trenches.
Yeah. Well, I know that. I was in the trenches. I was a left tackle. I was the smallest left tackle on my high school football team, starting left tackle. It was my speed. It was my speed. I was quick. I wasn't strong, but I was quick.
You don't have to be strong. You just have to deflect the guy away from your quarterback.
Yes. Or learn the art of cheating, because rule number one.
Oh.
No, the art of cheating. Rule number one.
Oh, cheating is good.
And rule number two.
Refer back to rule number one.
Yes, and my coach Wallace, that I always show respect for, rest in peace. He's the one, big Raider fan, was my coach. He always said, if you ain't trying, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. If you ain't cheating.
That's a racing rule right there.
Yes.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yes. And inside the line of scrimmage, that was, I love the line of scrimmage because that's a fight every play. You don't come out the game. You don't come out the game. Left out in baseball. Hey, you know what? You know who was played left out in baseball, but he made a great career out of it.
Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag.
Me?
So, left out, hey, that can get you places too, okay? Rest in peace, Bob Uecker.
I was going to say, rest in peace.
We want to thank everybody for joining our show and the new subscribers and those who are watching. Shouts out to Vincent, who
we watched after the fact.
Yes, he said I had the day off. Hey, he said he had the day off, and we appreciate you coming on, interacting with us live and everything. So, we want to say thank you to everybody. Miss Peggy, want to say thank you to Miss Peggy for coming on tonight. You hear it? She always tells us, I got a busy schedule, but I got time for you guys. I said, all right. So we always
carves it out for us.
Yes. Everybody, good night, Anna, Damon King that was in the chats, Death Pile Picker. Yeah, I am saying that right.
Yes.
Jeff, Captain Jack, prayers, Captain Jack. I don't know.
Chasing
I don't know, but I hope, Demon King, Mufasa, in the house. Like he said, Jeff, Jason Downs in the house, and yes, Pig's Pig always shouts out.
Sacktown Raider Mike.
Yes.
Ed Winchell,
yes.
Job done.
And everybody who watches afterwards, we appreciate you. Thank you for the likes, shares, subscribes, views, and all that. We'll come back next week as we shift gears to go into the draft. Everybody, I was going to say have a happy free agency, but it's been mediocre. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what this coaching staff and front office, what the strategy is that their philosophy, basically. All right, everybody, take care. Good night. And let's see what happens. All right, Asylum. Peace out.
Peace out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.